Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a little different. Most of the property I bring to you lately are luxury property, premium estate, duplexes, and property that are already developed or close to completion. But recently I had a prospect living outside Nigeria reach out to me and asked a very important question. He wants to know, Mary, what land banking opportunities are currently available in Enugu? And that conversation is what inspired this video. So today I am taking you on a complete drive-through video from the city axis down to a land banking opportunity located at Agbogazi Nike. We started this drive-through journey from Penox Junction around Nowas Junction, Abakpa Transekul axis, and we are driving all the way to the estate. I want you to pay attention to the roads, the construction, the landmark, the ongoing development, the communities we are passing through, and the level of human activity going on in this axis, the electricity infrastructure, and generally what the environment looks like. Because when you're buying properties, especially outside Enugu or outside Nigeria, you should not have to depend only on pictures, flyers, or edited videos. You deserve to see the actual route. You deserve to understand how accessible the property is. You deserve to know what is around it. You deserve to see the property as it is. That is something I take seriously in my brand, and I don't want you to invest blindly. I want you to be able to watch this video and feel like you are physically inside the vehicle with me, following the road from the city down to the property. No shortcuts and no cutting away the paths that may help you make a better decision. Just the real journey, the real environment, and my honest observation as we go. So if you have been looking for an affordable land banking opportunity in Enugu, especially the one that is less than 30 minutes from this major city axis, stay with me until the end of this video. One of the first things you may notice along this route is improvement in road infrastructure. The road dualization that was previously ongoing around this Nowas axis has now been completed, and the difference is quite visible. The road is wider, more organized, and easy to navigate. Road development is one of the things I pay attention to when assessing an area, because good road infrastructure does more than making movements comfortable. It improves accessibility, it encourages development, it makes it easier for people, businesses, and investors to move into an area, and over time improved access can contribute to increased demand for property. Of course, the road construction alone does not automatically guarantee that the land prices will increase. There are other factors that are involved for an area to improve, including the title, location, planning, infrastructure, demand, and the general growth of the area. But when you see major road projects connecting communities and opening up new corridors, it is something worth paying attention to. As we continue this journey, you can see there are buildings, commercial activity, vehicle, and everyday movement. This is a part of an active urban corridor, and the major journey towards this property begins from a familiar and accessible part of Enugu. For anyone watching from outside the country, I want you to imagine this as your first point of reference. We are not beginning the journey from an unknown village road and then suddenly showing you the estate. We are starting from a recognizable city axis and following the route step by step. That is the way you can better understand the distance and accessibility for yourself. Based on this drive-through video, the journey from Nowas Junction towards this flyover is approximately 4 minutes, depending on the traffic and road condition. And as we continue, you can see how the road network is gradually connecting different parts of this axis. For property investors, connectivity matters a lot. Sometimes the value of the location is not only about what is already inside the community. It is also about where the community connects to. How easy can people get there? What major road leads to that area? What important landmarks are nearby? What developments are moving towards the location? These are some of the questions I consider when evaluating land banking opportunity. Land banking is different from buying a house that is already completed. When you buy a completed house, you are already looking at what already exists. You can see the building, you can inspect the finishing, and you can access the neighborhood as easy as it today. But land banking, you are looking ahead. Now we are heading towards one of the notable landmarks along this route. That is the landmark Nike Lakes Resort. Landmark Nike Lakes Resort is one of the most recognizable landmarks in this part of Enugu, and landmarks are useful when explaining property location because they help people understand the general area. For someone who has lived in Enugu, visited Enugu, or know the city, mentioning landmark Nike Lakes Resort may immediately create a clearer picture of the direction. We have now passed the landmark Nike Lakes Resort axis and we are continuing towards another point of interest along this route. As you can see from this video, serious road construction work is still going on here. This road construction started from both Penox towards Nike and from the major Abakpa road also down towards Nike. These roads are being dualized, and this road connects from Nike, Abakpa Nike, Transekul axis from Penox. It connects to Nsukka, and from Nsukka it connects to Abuja. So this is a big express road located right here at Nike, and if you see that the road expansion will help in making movement faster and easier along this axis. From the landmark Nike Lakes Resort axis to the Maik Estate and Hosanna Estate axis, this drive through it takes approximately 5 minutes. I am mentioning this because it helps you understand the pattern of real estate development along this corridor. When you begin to see estates, residential projects, and real estate activity along a route, it can indicate that developers are paying attention to the area. Of course, the presence of one or two estates does not automatically mean every property around it is a good investment. Every property should still be assessed individually. You need to verify the title, you need to understand the exact location, you need to confirm the survey and the documentation, you need to know the size of the land, you need to understand any additional fee or development requirement, and you need to buy from a credible source. But when several developers and investors begin to move into the same general corridor, it is worth asking, what are they seeing in this particular location? Sometimes they are responding to infrastructure, sometimes they are anticipating population growth, and sometimes they are positioning themselves ahead of future developments, and sometimes they simply see available land in an area that is gradually becoming more accessible. As investors, we should observe these patterns without making assumptions too quickly. So from my Quadrant Estate and Hosanna Estate area, we continue along this route towards the community where Glory Layout is located. As you can see, road construction is still ongoing along this part of the corridor, and you can see that development is continuing. As we move further away from the major urban axis, the environment gradually changes. You begin to see more community life, you see residential building, you see people moving around, and this is something I find important when assessing a land banking location. A land banking property does not necessarily need to be fully developed urban neighborhood. In fact, if it's already in a fully developed neighborhood, the entry price may be much higher. The idea is often to identify an area that is still growing but already has signs of access, community presence, infrastructure, and future development potential. The key to the investment is balance. You do not want to buy land that is completely inaccessible or disconnected from existing development, but you are also not wanting to wait until every road is out, every plot is built up, and price has already increased significantly. That is where proper property assessment becomes important. You are looking for a location that is developing, accessible, and connected to existing community while still offering room for future growth. And from what we are seeing on this drive-through, this area has some of these indicators. As we continue, we will drive through the Amokpaka ultra-modern market. The presence of a market is another sign of community activity. Markets support daily life. People come to buy and sell, traders move goods, residents access essential items, and the surrounding community benefit from the economic activity. We are currently approaching the Enugu Smart School. From Hosanna Estate axis to driving down to this smart school is approximately 6 minutes. In this video, educational infrastructure is also something that can influence the growth of a location. Enugu Smart School attracts families, teachers, workers, service providers, businesses, and other supporting activity within this axis. We are now getting closer to the junction that leads to Glory Layout. From Hosanna Estate to this point is approximately 7 minutes drive. This is the turning point into Akonike community route leading to Glory Layout. I want you to pay close attention to something. The route towards this property is relatively direct. There is no complicated turning or multiple corners to navigate. The road leads straight into the community and towards the estate. For buyers who are not familiar with the area, A straightforward route can make future navigation easy. For most of my diaspora clients and investors, visiting a property physically before investing may not be possible. You may be living thousands of kilometers away. You may not have a trusted person available to inspect the property on your behalf, and sometimes the information available online may only show the estate gates, a few beautiful pictures, or a short video taken inside the property. But the road leading to the property, the surrounding community, and the actual condition of the environment are always important part of the investment. That is why I am taking you through this complete route. I want you to see the journey from the city axis to the estate as it is. I want you to observe the major road, the ongoing development, the community along the route, and the actual access road leading to the property. So even though you may not be physically present, you are not investing without seeing the environment. You are following the journey with me step by step. You are seeing what I am seeing, and you are getting a clear picture of the location before making your decision. The road is currently an earth road. It is not yet asphalted, and I want you to be clear about that. However, it is accessible and motorable. And because this video was recorded during the rainy season, you are also seeing the road under real weather conditions. And rainy season is one of the best periods to buy land banking properties because it will help you to see the clear condition of the road and the routes leading to the property. This is important because condition of the road can look very different during the dry season. When the weather is dry, some roads may appear smooth and easy to access, but during rainy season, it can reveal how actually the road performs. Rain can show areas where water gather. It can reveal muddy or weak sections. It can show signs of erosion or poor drainages, and it can help you understand whether the route remains accessible when the ground is wet. As we continue, notice the electric poles along the road. The electricity infrastructure extended towards the community and continues in the direction of the estate. This is one thing that stood out for me during this inspection. The presence of electricity infrastructure means that the area is not completely disconnected from the basic utility access. You can already see some residential buildings and signs of everyday life along this route. People are already living here, people living within this community. There are houses, there are activity, there is movement. This is not a completely isolated location with no human presence. This area is still developing and it's not yet a fully built up urban environment, but there is existing community around it, and for land banking that can be important. When you are investing in an emerging location, you want to see signs that development is gradually moving in. You want to see access, you want to see community, you want to see infrastructure. All these are evidence that the area is connected to places where people are already living and carrying out their daily activity. And these are some of the things we are observing along this route. Now let's talk briefly about land banking and what it really means. Land banking is the strategy of purchasing land with the intention of holding it for future use or possible value appreciation. You may not be ready to build immediately. You may simply want to secure land while the price is relatively affordable. You may want to hold it for your children, you may want to build on it in the future, or you may want to resell it later depending on the market condition. Land banking requires patience as an investment. The value of land and appreciation rate can be influenced by so many factors, including infrastructure, demand, government policy, development pattern, access, title, and the general economy. So when I say that an area has potential, I am referring to the development indicators that can be observed in such area. For growing layout, some of the things that makes the location worth considering includes the accessibility from the major city axis, the road development that is taking place along the corridor, that is the Nike Nsukka Express Road that is leading to Abuja, which is currently undergoing dualization. Its proximity to notable landmarks such as landmark Nike Lakes Resort, Enugu Smart School, and the ultra-modern market. The already existing community and human activity, the presence of electricity infrastructure, and the direct road that is leading towards the estate. And there are so many real estate developers that have invested in properties within such axis. That is why Glory Layout is predicted to grow in terms of return on investment within the coming years. So today I am live here as Glory Layout, one of our best land banking property located right here at Nike Axis. And in this estate, a plot measures 465 square meters and it comes with a general CFO, a deed of assignment, irrevocable power of attorney. So when you're investing in this estate, you're sure that it has solid and strong documents. Your property is safe and protected. Like I said earlier, it's a land banking property and is currently selling for 1.5 million naira at pre-launch price, and in less than 10 days it will be sold for 2.5 million naira. So as a smart investor, as a forward-thinking investor, what do? You key in now that it's still selling at its pre-launch price. So for further details about this property, you can call me on the phone number displayed on your screen. I still remain your real estate professional, Jikanime Ezine, based here in the city of Enugu. I help individuals like you to spot and secure strategic real estate investment right here in the city of Enugu.